The Asylum. Chapter 1, The Decision. It was a crisp autumn evening when 5 friends, Sam, Alex, Jordan, Kim, and Emily, sat huddled around a campfire in Sam's backyard. The conversation drifted to urban legends and ghost stories, fueled by the flickering flames and the chill in the air. "Have you guys heard about the old Oakwood Asylum?" Sam asked, his voice low and conspiratorial. The others leaned in, curious. Jordan nodded. "Yeah, isn't that the place where all those patients disappeared in the 60s? "That's the one," Sam confirmed. "It's been abandoned for decades. People say it's haunted. I was thinking, we should check it out." Emily shivered, more from the suggestion than the cold. "Are you crazy? That place gives me the creeps just thinking about it." Kim, always the thrill seeker, grinned. "Come on, Em. Where's your sense of adventure? Besides, it's just an old building. What's the worst that could happen?" Alex, the more pragmatic of the group, shrugged. "As long as we stick together and don't do anything stupid, it could be fun. Let's do it." And so, it was decided. The next evening, they would explore Oakwood Asylum. Chapter 2, The Asylum. The drive to the asylum was uneventful, the group chatting nervously to mask their growing unease. As they approached the looming structure, the mood shifted. The asylum stood like a sentinel against the darkening sky, its windows broken and doors hanging ajar, like a mouth frozen in a silent scream. "Here we are," Sam announced, killing the engine. "Everyone got their flashlights?" They nodded, stepping out into the overgrown courtyard. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying the faintest echo of forgotten cries. Emily hesitated. "Are you sure about this, guys?" "Too late to back out now," Kim said, flashing her a reassuring smile. "Come on." They crossed the threshold into the asylum, the air immediately feeling cooler and heavier. Their flashlights sliced through the darkness, revealing long corridors lined with peeling wallpaper and rusted medical equipment. "Okay, let's stick together," Alex said. "We don't want to get lost in here." They moved cautiously, their footsteps echoing eerily. The building seemed to groan around them, settling into their presence. As they turned a corner, Jordan stopped suddenly. "Did you hear that?" They all froze, listening. A faint, distant sound, like someone crying, drifted through the halls. "Probably just the wind," Sam said, though he didn't sound convinced. "Let's keep moving," Alex urged. Chapter 3, The First Twist. They continued deeper into the asylum, the oppressive atmosphere gnawing at their nerves. In the old records room, they found yellow documents strewn across the floor. Kim picked up a patient file and read aloud. "Patient 103, Alice Carter. Committed for severe paranoia and hallucinations. Claimed she saw shadows moving in the walls." Jordan frowned. "That's creepy. Let's get out of here," Emily urged, her anxiety palpable. As they turned to leave, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Emily screamed, and the others rushed to pull it open, but it wouldn't budge. "What the hell?" Alex shouted, throwing his weight against the door. Suddenly, the lights on their flashlights flickered and went out. They were plunged into darkness, the only sound their panicked breathing. "Stay calm," Sam shouted. "Everyone, just stay calm." Then, from the darkness, came a whisper. "Help me." Chapter 4, The Descent. "Who's there?" Kim called, her voice trembling. The whispering continued, growing louder, more insistent. "Help me." "Follow the voice," Alex said. "Maybe it's someone who needs our help." Reluctantly, they followed the voice through the pitch-black corridors, their flashlights flickering back to life just enough to guide their way. The voice led them to a staircase descending into the basement. "Down there?" Emily whispered, her voice shaking. "We don't have a choice," Sam replied, taking the lead. The basement was worse than the upper floors. The air was damp and musty, and the walls seemed to close in on them. They came to a door at the end of the hall, slightly ajar, with a faint light spilling out from inside. "Ready?" Sam asked. They nodded, and he pushed the door open. The room was empty except for an old operating table in the center, and a single, flickering bulb hanging from the ceiling. On the table lay a dusty, old journal. Jordan picked it up and began to read. This is the journal of Dr. Adrian Blackwood. He was the head psychiatrist here. It says he conducted experiments on the patients. Kim's face paled. What kind of experiments? Psychic experiments, Jordan read, his voice shaking. He believed he could cure mental illness by transferring the patient's afflictions into another host. But something went wrong. The patients, they started disappearing. As Jordan read the final entry, a chill ran down their spines. The shadows are alive. They whisper to me. They want me to join them. I must resist. The door slammed shut, and the bulb exploded, plunging them into darkness once again. Chapter 5, The Shadows. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped. The whispering returned, now all around them, rising to a cacophony. We need to get out of here. Alex shouted, trying to force the door open. Suddenly, the room grew colder, and they saw them, shadows moving along the walls, reaching out with ghostly hands. Stay together, Sam yelled, grabbing Emily's hand. The shadows closed in, their whispers now distinct words. Join us, stay with us. Kim screamed as a shadowy hand brushed her arm, leaving a freezing burn. We need to fight back. But how could they fight shadows? The room seemed to warp and twist around them, the shadows growing more aggressive. Over there. Alex pointed to a vent near the floor. We can crawl through. One by one, they squeezed through the vent, the shadows clawing at them, trying to pull them back. They emerged in another part of the basement, disoriented but alive. We need to find a way out, Sam said, his voice shaking. And fast. Chapter 6, The Final Confrontation. They navigated the labyrinthine basement, the shadows pursuing them relentlessly. Every turn seemed to lead them deeper into the asylum's madness. Finally, they stumbled into a large, circular room with a strange, arcane symbol etched into the floor. This must be where Dr. Blackwood performed his rituals, Jordan said. The shadows filled the room, circling them like predators. From their ranks stepped a figure, more solid than the rest. It was Dr. Blackwood, or what was left of him. Why have you come here? He hissed, his eyes glowing with an unholy light. We just wanted to explore, Sam said, trying to keep his voice steady. We didn't mean any harm. Blackwood laughed, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. You've disturbed the balance. Now, you must pay the price. The shadows lunged, and the friends fought back with everything they had. Kim swung a rusted pipe, Alex used a broken chair leg, and Sam wielded his flashlight like a club. But the shadows were relentless, and one by one, they were overwhelmed. Emily, the last standing, saw the journal lying on the floor. She grabbed it, flipping to the last page, where she found an incantation. With her last ounce of strength, she read it aloud. By the light of the living, I banish the darkness. A blinding light filled the room, and the shadows screamed in agony. Dr. Blackwood's form disintegrated, and the room fell silent. The friends collapsed, exhausted but alive. Chapter 7, The Escape. When they woke, it was dawn. The asylum was eerily quiet, the oppressive atmosphere lifted. They stumbled out of the basement, through the corridors, and finally out into the morning light. They didn't speak as they drove away, each lost in their thoughts. The asylum receded in the rearview mirror, a dark memory that would haunt them forever. As they reached the safety of Sam's house, Emily broke the silence. We survived. Yeah, Alex said. But at what cost? They knew they would never be the same. The shadows of Oakwood Asylum had left their mark on them, a reminder that some places should never be disturbed, and some secrets are best left buried.
Don't forget to subscribe.